What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio is Adrian, the homeboy, Holmes, a very own Patreon producer. How's it going?
What's going on, good people? It's good to be here again.
Thanks for coming by. And also joining us here is, you know him from twitch.tv/Boba Nate Fletcher.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, doing pretty freaking awesome. You know,
Doing good.
I was getting a little heated in the pre-show, so this show, I mean, it's gonna be an extremely exciting show. You know,
Gonna be something. Thanks for joining me. Last minute this morning, JJ's like, "Hey, by the way, I just feel like kicking it tonight. So I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do the stupid podcast." So he just bailed, but. JJ's gonna JJ.
Yeah, it's weird. He's over at my house right now on my couch, just playing games.
Yeah, right. Crazy. No, he let me know. He's like, dude, like with the move and everything, it's so crazy because I guess they bought the house in Nebraska, but they can't sell their place until like, I don't know. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. He's doing work at another apartment. He's just swamped. So he's like, I need another break. And I'm like, it's cool. We got friends. We got lots of cool friends. So thank you both so much for jumping on last minute. That's very, very thankful for that.
No worries.
Alrighty. Man, how has your guys' week been? It's been the last couple weeks. I feel like there's just been a lot going on in the video game world. But how about in you guys' lives, Adrian? Anything new for with you?
Let's see. Well, we started a new software at my job, and it has been, let's just say there's some growing pains.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing. Bought myself a new Game Boy for my birthday.
Let's go.
So,
yes.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Dude, how did I not know it was your when was your birthday?
It's on Wednesday.
Okay, so it hasn't happened yet. Okay, I was going to say, I feel like that's something I would have seen on Twitter at least.
I bought one of those fancy pants, the ones that have like the super clear, super bright modded screen and
nice.
All that other kind of stuff. So,
Dang.
yeah, it's looking pretty sweet.
Dude, I know. I love. I tagged you in that. What's that little handhelds? Like
the analog thing? The one I would have bought.
Yeah, they put up more pre-orders for that, and you're like, dang it, I just bought the Game Boy. Felt so bad, but oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Well, let's see if any of this birthday cash comes through.
There we go. Oh, birthday cash is the best cash.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Boba? Anything new with you?
So yesterday I had the house all to myself from about 3:00 until 9:00 at night. So I was like, all right, this is going to be the best day ever. It's just me, just video games, and it's going to be the dopest thing. The problem is I'm in one of those points, like one of those ruts. So I was even telling my wife, I'm like, I cannot figure out what the heck to play right now. Like I'm going through, and of course I even posted it in the Discord. I was like, help me find out what to play right now, because I haven't finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't finished Ghost of Tsushima. I barely, like I'm almost at the end of The Last of Us 2 and I haven't finished that, but my save data wiped when I switched to the PS5. So I've just kind of been
That's the worst.
A little down about it because I don't want, like that game isn't, in my opinion, that fun to go back through and play. It's more fun when you're first experiencing it. So I kind of got in that rut and I sat there for like an hour and a half watching a Tiger Woods documentary. But then it came to me. I realized the perfect game. You know when you finally find it and it just clicks? And I played Borderlands 3. I played Borderlands 3 for like a solid 5 hours last night. Then my wife got home. We put the kid to bed and I kept playing. That's how into it I was.
Nice.
So that's what I did this weekend.
Dude, that's awesome. I have not touched Borderlands 3 like pretty much since it launched. Me and our buddy Keith played for a hot minute together on co-op, and then it was just hard to connect. So we played like for a good week, and then we never got back to like finish the campaign. He went off without me, beat the game obviously because I'm a fake gamer and don't finish games. But now, have they added crossplay yet? Because that was my biggest thing is like, oh, if they added crossplay, I have other friends who play it, but I just am afraid to go back. Like, it's more fun with friends. So I don't want to just.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've added crossplay. Adrian, do you know?
I remember Gearbox was talking about it.
Right.
I don't know if they had a roadmap for it, but they said it was definitely on their list.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as soon as that comes, like, I'd totally be down to play with anyone who wants to play. But at this point, I'm stuck to PC, I have it on Epic Game Store or whatever, which is.
I'm sure they would have by now, but even then, I'd buy it on Epic Game Store just to play with you. That's how much I love it. But they have released a ton of DLC for it, so
I know I have seen.
And they're like, especially in the Borderlands universe, masters of adding story content to the game. It's almost like you go through the content and you're thinking in your head, like, why was this not in the original game? And that's how good it is. Like, Why would you hide this from the general public? Because in my opinion, the general public aren't purchasing DLC. So.
Dang. Crazy. Well, well, let's, thanks for sharing about your fun weekends. You guys had a more fun weekend than me. I guess it depends on who you ask. We went to the beach on Saturday. I'm not really a beach guy. I don't like the sand. I don't like sitting out in the sun. I'd rather go on. I thought we were going on a hike. I was like, that'd be cool. Didn't end up happening. But beach was fine. It was a fun family day. And then, yesterday we just like hung out, did nothing all day because I was dead from the beach because I was like baked, just sitting in the sun all day. I'm like, oh man. But it was all right. But let's get into the fun part of the show now, where today we are going to be talking about big 2021 updates from PlayStation, Nintendo, and Pokemon. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our super gamer producer, Adrian the Homeboy Holmes, joining us here tonight. Thank you so much, Adrian, for your love and support and for helping us out in a pinch here. Very much appreciate all that. And maybe we'll even get a live indie spotlight tonight. Your super indie boys. I always forget what the official name of it. Super indie boys, I think is what we're calling it.
I got some cards in the works. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe for the first time ever, Twitch can see it as well.
Oh.
And also shout out to our Super Gamer sponsors, Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Brent Fox, and Daniel James. If you want to support us just like they do, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. We have a bunch of different levels there where you can get our episodes early and ad-free, as well as some other perks, like our Patreon exclusive show, Super Gamer Book Club. We actually just recorded last Friday. It will be coming out this Friday, an episode about Dead Space. That was a fun game to go back through, even if halfway through it, the PC version, which is known for being super buggy, ate my save and totally bugged out. But, you'll have to hear about that in the show. And also just a little teaser, next month we're doing Batman Arkham Asylum. So
I just found out about that today. That's going to be so sick.
Mm-hmm. So supporters over at Patreon, if you want to hear either of those episodes or even the previous ones, they're all there in the catalog. We will talk about that later. Now it is time for the mailbag.
Mailbag time.
And to all you Twitch viewers, you're like, why did he awkwardly pause for so long? It's because in the recording, there will be a fantastic audio clip of Zetch just butchering the mailbag. But this is actually a question from me because we didn't really get any questions in the Discord and I forgot to write something in there. But I'm just curious, what games are you guys looking forward to in 2021? Because, and this is like, I don't necessarily have an answer. That's why I'm asking. Like, I might do a little searching here while you guys are talking, but I thought long and hard about this today. I just really can't think of much that I'm excited for. It's like, we know for sure it's coming out this year. Is there anything you guys are excited about, 2021 games?
Well, I'm not entirely sure if it's coming out, but Halo Infinite, looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Definitely RE8. RE8's looking fantastic. Got a chance to play the demo at a friend's house. It's looking phenomenal.
Dude.
Seasons, I'm still waiting for it. I follow the Twitter. I can get updates for them every day.
Have you gotten any response? I know you tweeted him a couple of times, like, hey, is this coming to anything else? And
They said right now they're sticking for PS5. So they said to stay tuned, but you never know. I don't think it's a total exclusivity deal because Sony would have published it otherwise. So there's always wiggle room there. So we'll see how that goes. What else is coming out?
See, so yeah, I just Googled a quick list here. So there's RE8, Halo Infinite, Far Cry 6 apparently, Deathloop.
Oh, I forgot about Deathloop.
Which I take that back. I guess I do know what game I'm looking forward to. Deathloop looks really good. Like watching
so sweet.
Watching that state of play, which we'll talk about in the news section. Like I'm really excited about that game. Apparently the new Horizon Forbidden West is supposed to come out this year.
Doubt it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No way.
We'll see.
It'll come out the same day as God of War this year. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, they said 2021. Come on.
I thought they changed it to when it's done.
Yeah, maybe they did.
That's every developer. Every developer says when it's done. Every publishing company says a date.
Yeah, right. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I'll eat a stack of pancakes if God of War comes out in 2021.
Gotham Knights has apparently come out this year. I totally forgot about that game. Returnal, God of War Ragnarok. So now that I actually have Googled it, again, I was trying to go off my mind because I want this question to be a little more off the cuff. Like what's actually been, exciting for you guys? Because for me, like there's nothing been at the forefront of my mind at all. Now reading this list, it's like, okay, yeah, there could be some cool things, but again, now that we're having this conversation too, how many of these will actually come out?
Mario Golf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
That one I'm really looking forward to. My wife and I played that a lot for the 3DS version of Mario Golf, right? What was that one called?
Mm-hmm. That wasn't Toadstool Tour. That was World Tour.
World Tour. That was a great game. So when they announced that, what's funny was I kind of expected them to. So when it came on, I wasn't super hyped, especially since, in my opinion, it didn't look like it's rewriting the book on Mario Golf, which that's not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing if you keep those games similar. But it felt familiar. One thing I'm a little bit starting to become concerned about is I don't know how much Nintendo's really been creative this generation, or if they're just kind of reworking old content for the Switch because they get to use the Wii U excuse. So I'm a little bit concerned that this game isn't going to do much to change it. Now, I know they announced a bunch of cool stuff, but I even felt like, dang, they're talking about Mii's and it's 2021 and we're talking about Mii's in the game. So there was a little bit of stuff like that, but yeah, I'm excited.
I wish that they would figure out, do you want to do stuff with Mii's or do you want to drop Mii's? What are we doing?
Yeah. And can we update them, please? Can they look a little bit different? They looked the same way when I was however many years old and got a Wii for Christmas, and I was stoked about the character customization features for the Mii. It's still the freaking same. It's the same. If you make the eyebrows really big and put them together, it's a unibrow. You can still do that.
Yeah.
Just make a unibrow option.
What's funny is in that same generation, they had the Xbox 360, which remember had like the Xbox avatars, which like looked so much better. And like Nintendo had this weird little Mii thing. It just is like, crazy. But we actually got some answers in the chat here popping up. I totally forgot we had a chat because we're live. M to the Itchel says Pokemon. Zero Faint says Pokemon, which, of course, now that we know Pokemon's coming out, I'm stoked for those games. But up until Friday, we didn't even know those games were coming out. Dan Jam Gent says RE8 all the way for me. And that's about it. So, yeah, we got some Pokemon, some RE8.
Oh, shoot. How could I forget Monster Hunter?
Interesting. Okay. Is that one? That one's going to be a little bit different.
And there we go. I got the overlay back. Oh, my mic's muted. Hey, we're back. Okay. Oh.
That might.
Okay, you scared me there, Adrian. Your camera flashed black. What's happening? We lost him. Man, yeah, that was crazy. So Discord just totally just crapped the bed. Just gone. And now it's back for now. We'll see.
Who knows?
Bonkers.
Hopefully it stays back. That was random. An
Capcom.
intern just accidentally alt F4'd.
Somebody kicked the plug.
Oh man, crazy. So what trash are we going to talk about? Monster Hunter there, Adrian?
Yeah, before they took down Discord.
They didn't want you to.
No, I was just saying I'm glad I forgot about Discord. I forgot about Monster Hunter. And I'm stoked. I'm looking forward. It's this month. Finally. Matter of fact, I gotta go pick my amiibos up too. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Nice. Like Monster Hunter amiibos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Nice.
Yeah, they're doing a set for the game.
Crazy.
The underrated game that I'm looking forward to the most this year, besides Halo Infinite, because you killed it on that one, if it comes out, is The Binding of Isaac Repentance. The final, which technically it's not a new game, but with The Binding of Isaac, it always is a new game. But it's the final DLC for The Binding of Isaac as we know it. And I say that because the creator of the game said there's a potential that they could make a sequel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, how long is that going to take to get here?
Well, he said he's taken a break from Isaac for 5 years. So
good idea, Ed. Good idea, Ed.
Yeah. So this could be the last Isaac content we get, which for the community, being people that have played for thousands of hours, it's a big deal. So I'm really stoked. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I think it'll bring more players to the franchise. So
Isaac's a great game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, best game ever. I used to have Isaac behind me, but my wife made me put it under the bed.
Jeez. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad you guys are excited about some games, and now I'm excited now that I finally remember what's coming out. And again, that was some of the newer announcements that we're going to talk about in the news here.
Wait, before we do that, how do you guys feel about Returnal? I don't know how to feel about it.
I'm not feeling it at all.
Nothing?
Like, not even a little bit.
It looks good, and I genuinely like Housemarque stuff. I platinumed Resogun, so I know they have a high quality standard. So I'm just curious to see, because I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it.
I think Returnal is good. It, in my opinion, is marketed very similar to the Bethesda one that we just talked about that I always forget the name of.
Deathloop.
Because Returnal's marketed as kind of like a roguelike shooter. To be honest, even myself, who pays attention, got them mixed up pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And because I think Deathloop stands out and looks way better, not from a standpoint of does Returnal look fun, but Deathloop has an artistic style and a marketing style that really pulls you in. It almost like completely masks and gets rid of Returnal. But what I did was I looked up Returnal on YouTube after the event and I watched it and I thought, damn, this looks like a great game. I wish they would talk about them separately from now on because it looks really
and that's what I'm pulling for, because this is Housemarque's first like non-arcade game. Yeah. So this is like a really big a gamble for them, because they said arcade games we don't make enough money on those and we need to figure something else out. So this is them branching out. So I really hope it pays off for them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so they made Resogun. What else have they made?
Super. Was that them? Super Stardust.
Okay.
Yeah, I only know of Resogun by them.
Interesting.
Let me not make a fool out of myself. Cool. I feel like they were Super Stardust though, but I might be wrong on that one.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking that up, let's get into the nerdy nudes. And we don't have any stinger for that, so I guess we're just going to have to remember the good times when we had JJ. It was them? Okay, cool. Super Stardust. All righty. So this first news story comes from the PlayStation blog. State of Play, February 2021, the complete recap. So did any of you guys catch it live, or at the very least, watch through the State of Play like that evening or anything?
Yeah, I watched it.
I watched it live.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I was able to catch it live, which is always fun. We got a few announcements here. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things total. The first thing, they started off the state of play with Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, showing off some of the PS5 enhancements.
4K.
Yeah, 4K, getting that 4K up in there. Yeah, I mean, that was fine. I feel like I haven't really heard much about Crash Bandicoot since it came out. Like, everyone was hyped because it was like the new Crash Bandicoot finally coming out. But other than, I don't know, the initial hype, like, is it a good game? Does anyone know if it's even like good or fun or anything like that?
Yeah, no, that's what I heard. I heard, oh, everybody's excited for it coming out, and then it came out, oh, it's really good, and then nothing after that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I feel like it's just like,
when did it come out? Did it come out around something else? Because I feel like it did. I need to stop asking questions that we don't know the answers to.
Yeah, stop it. Jeez.
In the year of 2020 through 2021, memory is just a flat line.
It was like around August of last year, wasn't it?
Let me see. September 16th, 2020.
There we go.
So what else came out around that? I guess I don't know. That's a whole nother question now. Yeah. So what else came out in 2020? Like, there wasn't a lot that came out last year, really, because of COVID. It slowed down a lot of development.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a Crash update. There was an update on Returnal. So I'm just going to read through them real quick, and if any of these stand out, we can talk more in depth about them. They introduced a new game. I think this is the first time we've even seen or heard of this. Sifu, an intense kung fu experience, coming 2021. That looked kind of
That kind of looks like dumb fun. I was kind of into it.
It kind of made me laugh, and maybe I misunderstood the trailer, but I just feel like there were so many games with the whole like live, die, repeat kind of thing. Like, they had Returnal, they had Deathloop, they had Sifu, like all these games where you like keep dying and coming back and coming back. Like, isn't it what kind of happens in Sifu? That's what I understood anyways.
In a way, I think that's how it works.
Okay. Because it seems like your guy keeps getting like older and older. Like, when you die, you get older, which I don't know if that makes sense. But
why, like the trope, the wise master.
Interesting. Let's see, what else do we have here? We had Knockout City, Solar Ash.
I'm so tired of seeing that game. That game was terrible.
Now, that's the one they showed we'll talk about it a little later, but at the Nintendo Direct, correct?
Yes, they tried to push it on me there. I hated it then, and then here it is again. I don't want it.
Yeah,
you gotta, when you're making these types of games, which are clearly trying to be the next big
live service,
whatever, you have to do something to make it stand out. But every time I see it, I can't help but think the name reminds me of that other PlayStation game, Destruction All-Stars. And it also reminds me of that rocket game where you fire rockets at each other that EA came out with. That was called like not Rocket League.
I was going to say Rocket League.
It was Rocket Arena, I think.
Yeah.
That game came out.
Came and went.
And completely gone now. And I think the issue is all those games have this cartoony style with their main heroes, and their heroes are all like very similar in the way that differentiates them. And maybe that's just maybe we're just over it. You know what I mean?
Look, everybody, stop trying to be Overwatch. We already have Overwatch. You don't need to be Overwatch. Do something else.
And now, when I saw Knockout City, and this is from someone who didn't play Splatoon at all, I thought it looked like Splatoon. Like, I was just like this, the colors and the worlds and stuff like that. I was like, oh, why does this feel like Splatoon to me? But again, someone who's never played it and only watched it and seen it.
Don't disrespect Splatoon like that.
Okay, well, sorry. They're going to shut us down again. I better shut my mouth. Shut this podcast down again. But that does not look like a good game. I don't know what they're thinking there. We got some gameplay for Solar Ash.
Yes, they were stoked for that game.
Are you? Okay, so now this one,
It's from the people who did you play Hyperlight Drifter?
So I did not beat it, but I played it. because it was like for free on Twitch Prime 1 month or something like that. So I got it through Twitch, tried it and enjoyed it. What little I played of it, but didn't get super.
So this is
super
their
deep.
next game.
Okay. So what's kind of what about it stands out, like is most interesting to you, other than the fact that it's made by someone that you know makes good stuff? Like, is there anything about this game that really like stands out to you?
I feel like it's more momentum based. I'm interested to see how they do that, how they play with momentum in this one, because Hyperlight Drifter felt more like I'll say more like a dungeon crawler in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But this one feels more like how do I say it? Not run and gun, but like I guess that would be the closest way to say it, like a run and gun. Because your main sense of locomotion is almost like you're rollerblading kind of,
Right.
but it's not rollerblades. But you use that sense of locomotion to get where you need to go and take care of your tasks. You're really agile, so I think that is I'm interested to see what they do with that, and they always make incredible looking games. So I'm really stoked to see what they do next with all they've learned from just Hyperlight Drifter alone.
Right. Now, would I be wrong in assuming this game looks a lot like the Pathless, at least in the combat style? Like, because every time I see this game, I realized at this state of play, I was like, oh, I've been getting those games mixed up. Like in my head, they're the same game and it hadn't come out yet. But I'm just
you're not wrong.
I just Googled right now to double check. I Googled right now to double check, and the Pathless came out last year, so the Pathless is already out. I didn't even realize that.
The Pathless is out. I've heard that from multiple people saying that not that they confuse the two, but they seem similar. But
you know what? If they're both good, that's more for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%. Okay.
And
interesting.
We do have to realize that where we are currently in the landscape of video games, I think we're making video games that are on trend for the time period we're in right now. These indie style, well, actually big budget indie style games, didn't used to be so big budget, and people kind of fell in love with them, and they became these indie darlings. And now I think personally, they've become our new, what's it called? Single A studios, basically. We don't get that triple A to like single A to like indie anymore. It's basically like triple A or indie, quote unquote. So I think when we have games like this, they match a theme and they match a style that we're used to and that we love, similar to how we're reproducing Call of Duty every year and we're making new Assassin's Creed. It kind of goes with what we're into. And so what we found is the new and exciting games, the ones that stick out to us, are different this year. And so what they've been this year are things more like community games. We've gotten Among Us, we've gotten, Fall Guys, we've gotten Phasmophobia. Valheim's the most recent one. These ones that have this social aspect to them. And what is that going to mean in 5 years? It just means that most of these new games coming out are going to have a mega social aspect like that. And it's just going to become normal. So then we'll find ourselves saying, dang, you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of these games coming out all the time.
Yeah.
I think these are just a product of that.
I'm right there with you. I'm always, come on. I have a thing on here. I'm way more excited about indie games than I am about AAA by far. I love a good Final Fantasy. I love a good, Call of Duty, but indie games are where the creativity is at. I'm always stoked to see what they're coming up with. Always.
Yeah. 100%.
Nice. Cool, man. Yeah, I might need to watch some more trailers or something of Solar Ash, because again, I always like the aesthetic even of Hyperlight Drifter, but and I love how they have this similar color scheme in Solar Ash. It's almost like you can tell it's the same company because they're keeping the same color scheme. Yeah, at neon 80s pinks and blues and purple and stuff
and reds. Yeah,
but we got some first gameplay revealed for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Oddworld Soulstorm arrives on PS4 and PS5 on April 6th. New gameplay and story details revealed in Moving Kena Bridge of Spirits trailer.
Yeah,
which,
go Kena.
Holy cow, that game.
Yeah, go Kena.
It freaking looks like a Pixar movie that you can play.
It looks amazing.
Gorgeous. I just don't know how do you make a game that look that good and seemingly play so well? I don't know.
We said that 20 years ago, and we're saying it now, and we're going to say it again in 20 years from now.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Good. I noticed it was on the Epic Game Store as a pre-order, which for some reason I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Man, how does PS1 do this? How do these Gran Turismo cars look so real? And now look where we are.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah. Kena. So yeah, maybe that one's not exclusive to PlayStation. I guess I thought it was too, but it's interesting. It's on Epic.
It probably is console exclusive.
Yeah, probably console exclusive.
That makes sense. Who's developing that one? Do you guys happen to know?
I think they're new.
Ember Lab. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Oh, they're new to the mainstream scene.
Yeah, it's Ember Lab.
I just saw like a watermark on a photo here. Yeah, I don't know if they've made anything else, but no, it seems like this is kind of their first thing, so that's kind of neat. Deathloop's Deja Vu trailer, a stylish look at Colt's journey through Black Reef. Holy smokes. The music, I just love so much about this game. Like just the art style, aesthetic, gameplay looks amazing. The music, like I hope that actually is the soundtrack and score for the game, is like that type of music just throughout.
Oh, you didn't hear? They were talking about the Deja Vu song is coming to iTunes and stuff and streaming and stuff like that because so many people are asking about it.
That is awesome. Yeah, man. Like it's starting to feel like, and I saw someone else on Twitter say something like, it's like, that was like a James Bond trailer. And I was like, yes, It's like, feels like James Bond, but like not the secret agent kind of thing. It's just like, but that similar action feel and just like pulp, like, action. I don't know. I'm stoked for this game. It's going to be so cool. Now, as far as like gameplay goes, again, this is another series I've never played, but it looks similar to like Dishonored almost to me.
Yeah.
Like, is that,
it's the same studio, so it would make sense that they would take what they know.
Oh, yeah. It's Arcane.
It's Arcane.
Yeah. Okay.
Arcane.
Duh. Of course, that makes sense.
I've played them both. It looks similar. It looks like, my main issue, I guess, with Dishonored is it went for the steampunk kind of look.
Okay.
And that's never really hit for me, that look. As Dishonored in general are fantastic games. Everybody should go play Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2 was completely stepped on by other games or something. I don't know why it didn't hit, but that's one of the most underappreciated games of all time. Playing that game and seeing how amazing it was made me realize like how devastating it would be not to get Dishonored 3. And we're probably not going to get one, but this is a great follow-up. So
I might say otherwise.
I'm not mad. Yeah, that's true. Daddy Phil Spencer might say something otherwise.
Oh, man. In the last announcement at the PlayStation State of Play was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Arrives on PS5.
It looks so good.
June 10th, 2021. Now, this kind of has me bummed a little bit because I haven't seen anything about this Intergrade coming to, at least not Intergrade, but like the DLC coming to PS4. But that's what this update is. It's not only like a graphical update, adding a photo mode, which I wish they had photo mode when I played. Let's see, but there's also a DLC that's featuring I don't know these characters. Yuffie and who was the other guy?
That guy I don't remember.
Okay, so
I think that guy is new.
Okay,
but Yuffie was in the original game.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because I'd never played the original, so I saw those characters. I'm like, I probably should be hyped right now, but I'm
about to get called out. You're telling me you didn't go to the third cave on the left bottom edge of the map? He was in there. Watch.
Did you even finish it?
Yeah. Are you even a real Final Fantasy fan? No, man, but like watching that trailer just got me so hyped once again, because I've talked about this a million times before, but like that was my game of the year last year, which a lot of people gave me flack for. Like, you picked a remake as your game of the year. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like,
I did. I gave you flack for it.
Yeah, you did. Giving Kittens did. I don't know if he's in the chat right now. Like, I've had all these people like give me this trash. I'm like, dude, it's my.
I don't know why. It's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. For me, it was the first time I ever played it, so it might as well have been a brand new game. And it is just so gorgeous. The soundtrack is perfect. Like, there's so much amazing. So here there's DLC coming out, which unfortunately might be exclusive to PS5, and then these enhancements. Boy, this year might be the year I need to pull the trigger on the PS5. I was going to wait a couple years, but I might need to get it for Final Fantasy, and we all know God of War is coming out, and Horizon Forbidden West. You know, these big games
this year. Next
Dan
year.
said, I want those missing Final Fantasy VII door textures. I'm right there with you, Dan. If I play that game and that door still looks terrible, we got a problem, Square Enix. We got a problem.
Oh man, yeah, the door textures. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Like
at the hotel,
the main door you go in and out of like a few times.
They never fixed it.
It's nothing, just a blur. Oh man, give me all the Final Fantasy VII though. It's so good.
But no. Seeing like the graphical detail updates, and now it runs at a solid 60 frames, that makes me want to play it again. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be totally down.
Heck yeah. So how long, I mean, this is completely unrelated, but how long do we actually see part 2?
Early next year.
What? Okay. I don't know what you're smoking, but I want some.
They already got the engine down. They got the engine down. They got the character models down. They're clearly far ahead of where they need to be if they had enough time to get a whole Yuffie episode out.
But so again, having never played the original, how much of the second part of this game, or I don't know if it's second, third, I don't know how the original set up, but are they gonna have to like create whole new worlds and areas, or can they reuse assets? Or like how does that work? How does that look without like spoiling too much? Like, is that possible?
They are going to have to do some major retooling to condense everything, because I'm trying to tread lightly here. Let's just say after you leave Midgar, you go to a bunch of different places, and I feel like they have enough assets that you didn't really pay attention to when you were in Midgar and certain places in Midgar that they could just, we'll take this here, we'll recolor it, we'll put it here, we'll do it there, and then they can make a whole nother place without you even realizing it's the same stuff. So,
okay.
I don't think, you know what? Okay, let me do this. I think we'll hear something about part 2 later this year, maybe like the end of this year. Okay. I think it'll come out middle of next year.
Okay. You heard it here first. Kajoma01, I'm going to need you to put that on the board. Adrian's calling Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 coming out middle of next year sometime.
I love it.
So I'm down. I like a good prediction that is in our favor. That's for sure. I'd love to play that game sooner than later. So we will see. But so that's it for the PlayStation State of Play. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about with any of those announcements, or anything else that stood out to you guys?
I have one thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I went on Twitter afterwards, and everybody was giving it basically a D or an F. Because you know how people will basically be like, how'd you feel about it? What would you grade it? And people were frustrated. And here's the thing. I think that one thing I've noticed is the gaming community online as a whole doesn't necessarily represent the core fan base. Meaning that I think people watch this let me get that straight. Wanting to see something like Elden Ring.
No, expecting was right.
Yeah. And they didn't get that. And so essentially what they do is they then trash the company, and they go online and they say all this stuff. And then you kind of realize how the hype engine is built.
Where's Elden Ring? Where was God of War? Where was Horizon? Where was this?
And now Elden Ring, as of today, a lot of stuff leaked from Elden Ring.
I didn't hear about that.
It looks mid-tier at best because it's not even like ready for release. I don't even know how this stuff got out. And people are freaking out online. And so I think people set expectations so high, and then these companies can't deliver because they're not ready. And then we blame the companies. And so I think as a whole, there's a little bit of frustration on my part because you start to see how this Cyberpunk debacle, not to say they should have released it. They shouldn't have released it. But expectations have to go on our end too. And so that was a really good picture of that. The same thing happened with the Nintendo conference, which we'll talk about in a second. But man, I thought that conference was great. It wasn't even a conference. It's just a direct. They're like, here's what we're doing. Here's what we got going on. Here's gameplay. And it was dope, perfect. The only things that didn't hit for me were Five Nights at Freddy's, but there's a huge
the DC Hero Girls game.
Yeah, there's a huge audience for the Five Nights at Freddy's. The DC Hero Girls thing was, I don't know how they expected that to hit. And then that one we talked about, the Rocket League, Rocket Arena, whatever the heck it's called. But other than that, I don't see why this, direct wasn't anything more anything less than a B or an A. And maybe that's because I had no expectations, but at the same time, I didn't expect to see Elden Ring. They didn't hype this for months. They didn't put pre-roll ads on Twitch. They didn't, all the stuff you'd expect from a big announcement. They didn't do that. So
I got some hypotheses, and I'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, right. I think at this point with the PlayStation State of Play 2, the fact that they even announced it just a couple days before, again, kind of like what you're saying, Nate, there's no ads, there's no build up. It was 2 days before, hey, by the way, we're going to State of Play on Thursday. It was Tuesday afternoon. They announced this, okay, cool, sounds good. Whoa. Yeah, everyone's losing their minds thinking I know a lot of people might shift to they're going to drop the big thing. It's why they're surprising us. But no, in my mind, it's no, it's just a little thing. And we have a few updates. So here you go. Yeah, it says people just don't have proper expectations sometimes. And then instead of just being okay, yeah, that was a bummer and moving on, they'd go online, like you said, and just trash the heck out of PlayStation for just no reason.
Oh my God. God of War was supposed to come out today. They didn't even do that.
Yeah. Oh man, messed up. But cool. Well, if we're done with the PlayStation State of Play, let's move on to some more PlayStation news. I'm going to lump these two together because there's not much necessarily to talk about them. But this first one from PlayStation Blog, the first details, quote unquote details on the next gen VR system coming to the PS5 console. So Hideaki Nishino, Senior Vice President in Platform Planning and Management at Sony. It's a long title and hard to say.
What an amazing LinkedIn bio.
Right. Oh, man. He put out a little blog article talking about a new PlayStation VR headset. They're not calling it PlayStation VR. They just keep calling it our new VR system. It won't be launching in 2021, but they wanted to provide an early update to our fans. Pretty much the only thing we found out here is they are planning on using just a single cord to go from the headset to your console, compared to the single cord. Because I don't know if you guys ever played PSVR. There was a cord that went from the headset.
I used to have one.
Okay, yeah. There's a headset to this little box, and then from the box, there's 3 cables that went out everywhere. It was bonkers.
It was terrible.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't 3, or maybe it's just 2. Either way,
no, it was more than 3.
Was it 3? Okay. There's USB, there's HDMI.
Yeah, the 2 coming out the front, the 3 coming out the back, the 2 come from the headset, the HDMI going from the TV, then to the box, then to the PlayStation. Ugh.
By the time you're done, you look like you're,
I don't even want to play anymore.
You look like you're a BT from Death Stranding, Yeah. Yeah, right? I feel and that's why I hardly played the thing, because it's such a pain to set up. I'd get it set up and be like, now it's nap time, right?
Right.
And I had it set up under my bed. And what I would do is I would just bring the PlayStation in, and I would plug in the PlayStation, and I play in theater mode. And I could play games in bed, no problem.
That's awesome.
Just sit there and play games. It was amazing. That's probably the only reason I'd ever buy a PSVR again.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is I think that the PC offering of VR games is far stronger.
So much.
Yeah.
But that mirror or the theater mode or whatever was amazing.
Yeah.
So cool.
When I had it, we were living in a studio apartment. So yeah, like when my wife is across the room sleeping in our bed, our quote unquote bedroom, and I'm sitting on the futon in front of our little, even our little 32-inch TV, like which it's funny to say it's little now because back in the day that felt big. Like the light,
waving those giant brightly lit wands everywhere.
Yeah, she's like, I can't sleep. So like theater mode was fantastic because to me, like I'm playing on like 100-foot screen, and to her, like it's a pitch black room. Like I'll just be sitting in the darkness, like playing the PlayStation. It's great. It's not weird. They also announced that they're going to be updating the VR controllers. They're going to incorporate some key features found in the DualSense wireless controller, along with a focus on great ergonomics. Now, Nate, you owning a PS5 and having a DualSense, what kind of features do you think could be added, and what would you think would be beneficial? Because in my head, the only thing I can think of is like the triggers. That just seems like it'd be wild, like having adaptive triggers and that. But
yeah, I
definitely
think
the haptics.
Yeah, the haptics. I think there's only two ways to play VR. VR well.
Mm-hmm.
I think those Oculus hand grabber things are amazing, way better than the Move controllers.
Yeah.
Or playing with just your hands, straight up. So if it was to playing with a controller, I don't know if you ever played one. It's jarring. It feels weird. You can never get used to it enough. So I don't know what they quite mean by that. I guess if you're in a cockpit or something like that, the controller could feel fine. But in my opinion, as far as VR is right now, and probably will be for the next 10 years, VR is never going to be that fun with a controller. It has to be something tangible that you can kind of feel, kind of grab, kind of do. And I think, another very hot take is VR really only plays well to a crowd. It doesn't necessarily play well in long sessions by yourself. So yeah, I would be interested to see what they do. Pardon me?
So you better keep it down. Don't let Zech hear you say that.
I haven't played Half-Life Alyx, and I'm not going to say that that's not the exception, but if that's the only exception, at least that I've heard of, I've owned two VRs. I own the Oculus Quest and I own the PlayStation VR. Both of them are fantastic. A lot of fun, 10 times more fun with other people in the room by far, like as like a party trick or something that. And that's the reason why I ended up getting rid of them both, as I never felt as if either companies gave it the like hype it deserved, and B, to be honest, the screen kind of sucks. I felt like I was playing on an Xbox 360 whenever I played VR. Like I never felt like this is the next gen, because it literally felt like the second I turn on a game in VR, I'm going back in time. I don't know.
See, I felt that way.
That's what I'm looking forward to with the PS5 VR as well.
I felt that way with PSVR. I thought PSVR looked pretty bad, but I always thought I have a Quest now. I always thought the Quest looked a lot better than PSVR.
It's leaps and bounds better than the PlayStation VR, but I didn't feel like, at least at the time, the offerings were next gen enough, I guess, for the, when you're playing something on your PlayStation or your Xbox or your PC, you're playing something like Horizon, Zero Dawn or The Last of Us 2, you're playing all these games that are supposed to be pushing the boundaries of where we are, and then you play a PlayStation VR game or a VR game in general. It's like, step off of this plank or, something like that. And it just feels like this doesn't have legs.
I will say I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I think the Darth Vader series that they did then they partnered with Oculus. I think that was, for me, I think that was some of the most immersive Star Wars content I think I've ever experienced. By far. That
was really rad. Having Darth Vader walk up to you ominously.
Yeah.
Like
I thought that was awesome.
That stuff is really cool, but I think it got, we're not talking about Vader Immortal, but I think it got broken up in poor gameplay loops as well. Like, standing and blocking, like, I mean, like it didn't feel 100%. Like I'd almost rather watch an immersive movie of Star Wars where all the characters are like around you and it's taking you to the different set pieces and stuff like that. I'd almost rather have done that at that point, because I felt like every time they switched me to like, oh, now you're holding a lightsaber or whatever, it felt like, oh, whoa, like that's not as fun.
I think that's probably no. I can see that, because I think that's because we're still in such a what's the word for like you're just developing, like we're in such a I guess
infant stage,
yeah.
Fetal would be even better, because it's not even quite infant.
Of kind of exploring this X, Y, and Z axis in developing for that. So right now we can only fathom, you're in the space. Well, how can we interact with it? Shoot a gun, block, So for where it's at right now, I could see. It does seem like it's repetitive, but you have to think about, there are people who are going to grow up with this stuff. It's going to be second nature to them, and they're going to be able to do things that we never even thought about doing with the technology. That's what I'm thinking about,
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited about with this PS5 VR, because it would be technically a lot. I mean, other VR companies would disagree, but really, it's as far as like the support, especially with games goes, this is our second generation of modern VR.
Oh yeah.
So Sony's going to hopefully put the games to back it up, and those games better feel better than the PS4 version of PSVR. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
100%.
I am excited. I 100% will buy it if they showcase it well. So
the one big thing I'm disappointed though is there's still wires.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, like Oculus has figured it out with some
Oculus. Oculus is what, $300 and there's no wires? Come on now. And for how powerful they tout PS5 to be, we could have figured something out. Even if you have to put a processor in the headset, like
Granted, even if it's just one wire, if it can look like 10 times better than Quest 2 or whatever it is like now, like it'd be worth it. Like that's the thing. Like, because Quest 2 probably, I haven't used it, but I assume it probably looks pretty dang good. Probably better than Quest.
My brother has
Quest.
one.
I've used the first Quest and it looks pretty good. So I'm sure the second one looks even better.
It looks even better.
If having just even a single cable plugged in the PS5 can make it even look better than that, like at that point, like it's worth it, I guess. If it's just one cable, like it's not that big of a deal.
It's fine, but if it makes the unit reduced to how it was now, where you're either like standing in one place or you're sitting down, then I think that's too much of a too much to give up.
Yeah.
They have to, if they're going to have one cable, they need to figure out a way to make sure that it's out of my way. So that way I can have a play area like Oculus and I can get up and move around in the space.
Let's make it like 60 feet long.
Yeah, because sitting down it's not going to cut it anymore. Just sitting down or just standing up in one place, it's not going to cut it.
Yeah. Every unit of PSVR 5 comes with it comes on a retractable spool that you screw to your ceiling. So as you run around the room, it just always keeps it all the way. That's what would be the logical next step.
Naughty Dog?
It has anti-trip technology.
Yeah. Patented Sony anti-trip technology. Get it right. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I loved my PSVR. And honestly, not a day goes by that I almost like regret getting rid of it, because like I did have some fun experiences on there, and there's been fun small experiences since then, like even the Astrobot games and stuff like that. But with this coming out, it's like, okay, cool. Like when I eventually get a PS5, that's what I can look forward to, is getting this new PSVR unit as well. And, because they say it's still going to be backwards compatible. So great. I'll be able to play some of those games I missed, or I either missed playing.
Hopefully those get updated.
Yeah, that would be cool too. But we'll see. The next news story is these two are supposed to be quick, but I'm glad we had some cool stuff to talk about here.
We can make this one quick for you.
Yeah, so this is Sony says more PlayStation games are coming to PC, starting with Days Gone. They plan on launching this spring with Days Gone. last August, we got Horizon Zero Dawn. They don't even mention Death Stranding, which I guess technically it's a PlayStation exclusive, but it's a Sony game. But it's not a Sony game, even though they paid for a lot of it as well, which is interesting. But anyways, Sony games are coming to PC. There's not much more to say other than
I don't know why they're lying. Like all their games aren't eventually going to be on PC. I don't know what like. Who cares? People are going to buy PS5s. You're not going to lose that many PS5s by saying our stuff's coming to PC.
Yeah.
If you want a PS5, you're going to get a I
mean, they kind of feel like they basically say that though in the interviews. Like there are more. Like we plan on like the cost of games is going up each cycle as the caliber of the IP is improved.
Because remember when Horizon came out, they were like, Horizon's coming out, but that's it. That's all we're doing. Don't expect too many more. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing the slow rollout, whereas Phil Spencer basically just says, everything from the get-go. And the thing is, at the time, people got on Phil Spencer about that. And now when I think about it, I have so many friends that say they will not get an Xbox because they would rather just play the games on their PC. And that's proof. Right there is proof. That's all you need to know. It's not about...
Phil's like, okay, there it is.
It's not about not owning the Xbox. It's not about not owning the PlayStation. It's about, I just spent $1,800 to build this damn PC. I don't want to buy another console.
Right.
True that.
I'll pay for it here. You know what I mean? So
that's why crossplay is so important. And I'm glad it's getting implemented because I want to be able to play with whoever I want to play with. And you should be able to play with whatever box you want. And I should be able to play with whatever box I want. The company gets the money because I'm in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm buying the game, you get the cut. Who cares who I play it with? You know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I'm excited about this. Granted, a lot of these games I've probably already played, but if this is, a new like another step forward for Sony, like I'm really excited because for so long, they make great stuff, but they're just not necessarily community focused. Maybe that's not the right word to say, but I feel like they don't make a lot of like even pro consumer choices sometimes.
Right.
Or like more recently, Xbox is like, you get Game Pass, you get Game Pass, you get Game Pass, like put it on PC, put it on xCloud, put it on Xboxes.
$1 for 3 months.
Yeah. They run that thing like every 3 months. So you basically get it like is paying $1 for it.
Game Pass?
Yeah.
Dude, they stopped doing it. It hurts my bank account now.
Right. And Sony just hasn't really done much. And I mean, they've made some steps that are like allude to like the fact like, okay, maybe they're going to start doing something here. But they haven't until now. Like now they're kind of like, hey, like we're going to start bringing stuff to PC. So I'm excited because A, I just built a new PC a couple months ago, and B, I love Sony stuff. And I don't want to necessarily buy a PS5 right away if I don't have to. So yeah, I'm stoked about this. We'll see what other games get announced. I'm kind of bummed it's Days Gone because that's the one game I actually I started up. It was so buggy. I could hardly play it. It wouldn't even play a cutscene.
We heard it's really good now.
And so I shut it down and never touched it. So if it's really good now, that'll be great. If not, it's going to be a bummer if it just comes out just as buggy on PC.
I think Last of Us will be here before the end of the year.
One or
Either
two.
Last of Us or God of War. One. At least one.
Yeah. Dude, imagine two, though, how beautiful that would. Because, I mean, it looked great on PS4 Pro. I couldn't imagine Last of Us 2 on a PC. Because that was one of the first things.
I'm actually shocked they didn't announce the next-gen update yet.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Because what is Naughty Dog doing right now?
They're making that freaking next-gen update.
Yeah.
They're going to make Abby's muscles even bigger.
You know how you do this? You roll out the next-gen update and factions at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked. I mean, you'd think so. It's almost been a year, which is crazy. It's almost been a year.
And they've been super quiet.
They've been quiet, and the hype totally died down to the point where when they won Game of the Year, did they win Game of the Year at the Game Awards?
Yeah. Neil was there.
Yeah. People weren't even that stoked about it. But that's an amazing game. It was controversial, and I think it deserved Game of the Year.
Especially that ending, right, Garrett?
Heck yeah, best ending. 20.
Yeah,
10,
yeah,
10 out, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
um, I just real quick wanted to see what the spread was on the original Last of Us, because they did the original one and then obviously did the remaster later on PS4 and everything. So the original Last of Us came out in June 2013, and then the remaster, which had the updated 4K or not 4K, I guess, but PS4 stuff, updated textures and stuff like for PS4. It was July of 2014, so it was like 13 months later. So,
and then they did another one for Pro, didn't they?
It was like a patch for the remastered version. Is all it was. It was like they patched the remaster. So I mean, if based off of that timeline, Last of Us 2 came out June. Oh, it's almost like the same schedule, June 19. So in July of this year, I could see them having a remaster.
Probably the next day to play.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So cool. Yeah. If you have a PC, have no fear. You'll be able to play PlayStation exclusives one day. Maybe 10 years from now, but one day.
I think it'll always be a year or so after release.
Yeah.
They still want you to buy their box or Wi-Fi router.
Wi-Fi router. So now we're getting to we are going long on this show, but that's okay because we have some fun news to talk about, and I'm glad we have Adrian this week because now we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct February 2021. Everything announced. Let's
I got some things to say.
Go. So let's play this where. Boy, I don't even know how to hit this one. Should I just like read through some of the headlines and stop and talk about them and do that again? Because, let's hit this. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Pyra, and Mythra join Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in March 2021. I take it you're excited about that.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Okay.
Pyra, not only Pyra, but she transforms into Mythra. It's such a good choice. Xenoblade 2, I think, really fell under the radar after it came out because it was definitely on the leading charge of the Switch. I think it was out within the first year or so. Mm-hmm. And everybody played it and everybody talked about how good it was. And then it's the Crash Bandicoot 4 of the Switch. Everybody was like, man, this is really good. And then you never heard about it again. So I'm glad that they got a pick because that was a really good exclusive that I don't think got enough love. And I hope that this inspires people to go back and play it because that really needs a lot of love.
Yeah, I really want them to put that on the box now. The Crash Bandicoot of the Switch. Adrian Holmes. Oh, man. That's a comparison doesn't seem to fit at all. I've never played Xenoblade Chronicles, but no, I get what you mean now. So, yeah, I mean, definitely they look like they could be cool characters. As far like any character that can switch like that and has like two different almost completely move sets always seems OP in my head as well. Like it seems like so crazy. Like, oh, is this like you're playing as two characters? That doesn't seem fair. I mean,
but the learning curve is a lot steeper because now you have to learn how to play two characters at the same time.
Right. So that's true. So yeah, new Super Smash. Now, is this the last one of the set, or is there one more after this?
No, I think there's one more.
Okay. Interesting.
One or two.
They should just keep doing these. I don't know why they're not.
I think Sakurai's ready to retire. I think like after this, he's like, I'm out of here.
I mean,
he can retire
all the time.
Hasn't he said that a lot? Like a lot of times.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you can like he looks tired all the time, but like now he looks really tired. Like that kind of tired. It's like, man, okay, might be time to hang it up, give it to the kids, and have a seat somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I don't care who does it, but they got to keep doing the character reveals because every single time it does, people are like stoked out of their minds.
Yes. Always hype. Always hype.
The biggest event in gaming every single time it happens. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why are people still playing this?
What?
So long ago.
Smash rules.
No, I know.
It's evergreen.
There's a huge community.
Oh man, this was the biggest troll of 2021. They came out And Zelda producer Aichi
don't get me started.
Ayanuma comes out, black background, spotlight on the man, and we're like, here we go. We are getting Breath of the Wild 2 announcement. Something, give me a taste. And what do? He comes out and says, sorry, we have nothing for you right now, but later this year, we should have something. Thank you.
You missed the first part. He was like, oh, I guess since I'm here, it looks like there's going to be some Breath of the Wild 2 news, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. No, there is none. Why are you here, Aonuma? Why are you here?
Anybody at all could have come up and just said, hey, we have one last cool announcement for you. But no.
Or just don't say anything. If you don't have anything to show, don't say anything.
For Waluigi just to like peek around him and be like,
Waluigi.
Don't even, just have anybody else come up and just talk about Skyward. It could have been just another, just show the trailer and get out of there.
What it should have done is just been like smash cut on the Skyward Sword logo, like immediately. So there's no chance to like think it was anything else, because what would have happened is, even if they showed like a Triforce or anything, people would be like, ooh, Breath of the Wild 2. So they need to just like do the transition where it's like, shwam, there's the logo, Skyward Sword, here we go, and then show the trailer. That way there was no letdown, no nothing. Just tell me what's coming.
Let me fix the direct for them.
Okay.
First of all, remove that guy coming in there. Second of all, start with Skyward Sword. Start with it. That's the first thing you do. Because if anybody's hyped about Zelda, that'll immediately tell them like, all right, let's lower our expectations. And then you bring the expectations all the way back up and you show Splatoon 3 at the very end. Because I don't know how you guys felt about that. Splatoon's incredible. It's
amazing.
one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. And so for them to even announce that, I was shocked because they're not even willing to talk about what's it called, Breath of the Wild 2. But now they're going to talk about a game that doesn't come out until next year. Yeah. It's just like wild to me. So why not end that and leave a good taste in people's mouths? Yeah. It was just weird. And then everybody would have been stoked. Yeah.
Using that logic too that you're saying, does that worry us that Breath of the Wild 2 isn't even coming next year, maybe the year after? Like the fact that they were willing to talk about Splatoon 3, which is coming out next year, but not Breath of the Wild 2. Is that maybe a worry that could be farther out than we think?
Breath of the Wild 1 got, delayed multiple times. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I bought a Wii U because of it.
No.
So thanks a lot, Aonuma. Yeah, we already had beef before, and then you come out and pull this stunt.
No.
I bought a Wii U by choice. So does that make me worse?
I mean, we both kind of got duped.
Oh, man. But that is the next news here, that Skyward Sword HD is coming out. I'm excited because I never played the original one. And I feel like this is one of those games where some people are like, nah, that wasn't a great one. And other people love it. So
I played it, never finished. Never finished it.
I'm interested to at least purchase it and install it on my system and probably let it sit there until the end of time. So, because as I do with my Switch for some reason, I always get these awesome games that I love, and then I just don't finish them.
They're there.
They're always there for me. Always there for me.
You can play as much of a game as you want. You paid for it. You can be as hyped as you want for it.
Or not play it at all. It's up to you. Your prerogative.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you said you beat it, never finished. Did you enjoy what you played, Adrian, or was it just kind of getting a little old?
I think I got tired of the motion controls. I mean, I get it. I'm interested to try it again because I don't think the Wii's motion controls were accurate enough or were advanced enough to handle what the team was trying to convey at that time. So I know, just off of sheer time, in technological improvements, I think the Joy-Con are probably insanely more accurate than the Wiimote would have been. So I'm interested to try it again to see if I wanted to continue with motion controls or if I want to try with the button mode. Yeah. But I do think I'm probably going to go to the end this time because I did like what I played. It was frustrating due to the technology limitations at the time.
Right. Yeah, the fact that they're adding the button mode, it seems huge. Because I play a little bit of Twilight Princess on Wii, and I never really liked the whole motion thing either. So
I never did. I had it on GameCube.
So wait, Twilight Princess, didn't that come out on Wii, or am I totally misremembering?
No, it came out on GameCube too.
Okay, so it came out on both. Okay, that's why. So yeah, so and I did not enjoy that. So I really hope that the button mode really is dialed in for this game, for Skyward Sword, because yeah, motion controls always just felt weird for, I don't know. That always felt weird too, with at least especially Zelda games.
And the enemies are designed to be fought with motion controls too. So that's why I want to kind of try to do motion controls first, just to see if I can play it as intended.
Yeah, see what happens. So, we got some announcement for some themed Joy-Cons off of Skyward Sword, which look pretty dope. Splatoon 3 announced for Nintendo Switch. So I wasn't necessarily stoked about this because I never played a Splatoon, but you guys seem pretty excited about this.
Okay, you have to play Splatoon. Baby. That's a game you don't have to finish. You can just play it.
Oh,
you don't have to worry about it. There's no ending. I know that you have, what's it called? Finality syndrome? That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, okay.
That's the disease. No, that's what you should say. Next time Zetch tells you, or he makes fun of you, or JJ makes fun of you, you just tell him, make up a name. Anything.
Don't make fun of my finality syndrome.
Yeah.
It's a very serious condition.
I just
never want anything to end, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Splatoon's the perfect game for you. First of all, you might even be able to get your wife into Splatoon.
Yeah, quite honestly.
Okay.
Because my wife loves it. It's a great time. Splatoon 3, the announcement trailer was so-so. It was mid, but that doesn't mean
the first part of it was mid. I think up until they got to I was going to say Inkopolis. It's not Inkopolis. To the city. That's when it kicked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I want to know what we're going to do with that. I mean, a little battle royale, a little Splatoon battle royale. I'm not afraid of it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a mode.
Yeah. Could be rad.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see. When the time comes, and if we can get, because it's a multiplayer game, if maybe one time we can, it's just the one time I play it, we can all get together and play, and I'll probably have a blast and talk about it on the show sometime. So.
Oh my God! How have I never played Splatoon?
You will be saying that. You will be saying that. You'll say it cleared your finality syndrome.
Oh man! The next announcement we have here is Mario Golf Super Rush announced for Switch.
Buddy.
June 25th, 2021. This new Mario game features speed golf mode, motion controls, story mode, and so much more. Now, I am so excited for this. This is going to be so much fun.
I can't wait. Speed golf looks so much fun. That was such a good idea. I don't know who thought of that, but that looks awesome. I can see like
chaos.
People knocking controllers out of hands, and it's going to be such a good time.
Oh man, so good.
Looks like a blast.
We have Project Triangle Strategy announced for Switch.
Yeah, baby.
Demo available today.
You guys got to play that demo. It's so good.
Okay.
If you like Final Fantasy Tactics at all, or any kind of like Advance Wars or Tactics or anything like that, this is looking like a winner.
Okay. Yeah, now this is the same people who did Octopath Traveler, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I loved the art style in Octopath Traveler, and I love the art styles in this trailer that I saw. And yeah, I might check this one out, because Octopath Traveler was daunting to me, knowing that there's like 8 different paths that they want you to play through to get kind of like the full encompass this full story kind of thing, is from what I heard. And so like getting this, it's a triangle, so there should only be 3 paths. I'm like, it's a little more doable. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, that game, I don't know, the art in it just is what grabs me. That's what grabs me. Star Wars Hunters announced for Nintendo Switch, a new free-to-play squad-based online multiplayer game by Zynga, your favorite phone developer or mobile game developer.
I was so stoked until I saw Zynga, and I was out of there.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout arrives on Switch summer 2021.
Good pickup.
That's a good game. I still very much enjoy this game. I know a lot of people on Twitter are just like, dead game, stop. But it's so much fun. It's so good. Those are a bunch of haters out there.
Those are the same Elden Ring fans.
Yep.
Yeah, the
fans
in
Fall Guys
quotes.
rules. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass announced. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Anything about it.
They just said they will feature
They just said, hey, it's coming.
Yeah, 2 waves of content. That's what they said. But yeah, it was kind of weird. Super Mario items will be added to Animal Crossing New Horizons this month. That actually came out February 25th. Right?
Yep. Just bought some earlier today.
Yeah, so I need you said something in the Discord. I'm like, I totally forgot. So I need to go jump on that, and hopefully I have some money to get that. The last time I played, I think I spent most of my money paying off my house. So we'll see.
Stocks, Garrett. You got to invest in the stocks.
Gotta do them stonks. Nintendo 3DS title Miitopia is arriving on Switch May 2021. Interesting pick there. Again,
yeah.
I know how much Nate loves the Miis, so here you go. Another game just dedicated to them. Outer Wilds.
I did actually think this looked fun.
Okay.
The kid in me would have loved it.
I feel like I bought this. I think it's on my 3DS somewhere. I don't remember if I ever played it though. I think it was probably like on a deep sale somewhere, and I was like, why not?
Right. Yeah. When you see a game for like $3, you can't say no. Even if it's nothing, something you'll never play in a million years. It's like you can't not buy this.
Yeah.
At least, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I have a problem.
I'm right there with you.
Outer Wilds coming to Switch summer 2021. 2 Famicom detective games are coming to Nintendo Switch 2021. Samurai Warriors 5
I've never
is
heard of those,
heading.
but they look pretty interesting.
Yeah, the detective games that was kind of looks like could be a fun one. Now it says Famicom Detective Club in the name. Was it originally a series from Famicom?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So there's a little bit of history there on the Nintendo platform. Legend of Mana Remaster announced, which I thought was already announced. This really caught me off guard.
I think whoever is releasing this is like, they put out a Mana collection and then they're like, oh, we forgot this one. Make another one. But what about this one? Make another one. Just put them all together in one big Mana collection and leave me alone.
Yeah, man. I am so confused at this point because I could have swore like 2 years ago, for the past 2 years, we've gotten some sort of Legend of Mana remaster. And
every time there's a new Mana game.
Like at this point, I think I need we need a diagram. I need like a chart. I need some sort of like pictures, lines drawn. We need to figure out what's going on here because I do not understand what these are. New Monster Hunter Rise trailer revealed.
Yeah, boy.
We're not going to talk about that because we'll get shut down again. Tales from the Borderlands announced for Nintendo Switch. That was kind of a fun Telltale game. Capcom Arcade Stadium Surprise releasing on Switch today. Stubbs the Zombie, No More Heroes, Neon White, DC Superhero Girls Team Power.
I forgot about Neon White.
That was the Assassins in Heaven, right? It's like these assassins that go to heaven to kill demons.
Yeah, but it's Annapurna and they don't miss, so I'm gonna buy it.
Okay,
I'm gonna buy it.
There we go. Plants vs Zombies: Battle for the Neighborhoodville, Knockout City, all of our favorite dodgeball game. From the studio that brought us Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. World's End Club arriving. Bravely Default 2, Saga Frontier, Ghost and Goblin Resurrection, Apex Legends, and Hades Physical Edition. The second I saw Hades Physical Edition, I meant to text you, Nate, but are you buying this? As big of a fan of Hades.
Me want to buy it are the character art pages,
right? It comes with a 32 page full color character compendium and a PC download code. So you'd have it on PC as well because you have it on Switch right now, right?
I have it on both. I bought it on both.
You already have it on both? Okay. Well, you can buy this and then
I'm not saying I'm not going to get it, but I don't know. I almost would rather buy an art book, like a dedicated art book.
I already pre-ordered it.
Let's go. Let's freaking go, baby.
Let's freaking go. Full send, Adrian. Full send.
I tell you, I'm the number one Supergiant fan in the world. So, let's go. Whatever you put out, I'm buying.
Let's go.
They don't miss.
Oh, shoot. I just saw now that we got rated by InSource. I don't know why my notification didn't ping. Normally I get a sound in my ear. Thank you, InSource, for rating.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I'm a horrible, horrible host here. I'm sorry, but welcome.
But we're freaking locked in, baby.
We were locked in. There's just so much Nintendo just dumped on us. Was there anything else that I rambled at the end there that you guys want to talk about? Because there's a lot.
I want to talk about how it is very concerning that it's been 3.5 years and we have yet to even see a piece of concept art for Bayonetta 3. What's going on?
My mind jumped to Metroid Prime.
Same.
Like, what's going on?
Metroid's only been a year since they rebooted development. I don't expect to see anything from that for a while, but they announced Bayonetta 3.5 years ago at the Game Awards, and it's like, fam, did you even start? Are you just starting now? Did you cancel it? Like, I need to know what to expect with this. What are we doing? Like, yeah. I know we were just talking about how expectations, for directs and for conferences like this, but 3.5 years and you don't have anything to show. I think that's a little excessive. That's just me, though.
No, that is kind of crazy. Now, Platinum Games, what's kind of their main thing that they make? They make Astral. They made Astral Chain for Switch. They made Bayonetta,
like the Devil May Cry type games.
Nier Automata. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they have a lot of other stuff going on at this point, right?
No,
like a lot of those games have already come out.
Right
They have announced a new Nier game coming out, right? Other than that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the A-team. I think the A-team is working on Bayonetta. So it's kind of like, well, are we having some difficulty here?
Apparently they're not the A-team. Because there's,
I guess,
swing and a miss. Cool. Well, that's it for the Nintendo Direct. And now this one shouldn't be too crazy long. There's just 3 things announced here. The Pokémon Presents 2021. That's right. We got it is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. That was on the 27th. Right off the gate, I want to say I'm sad there was nothing announced for the trading card game. Now that I've gotten that out of the way.
Off your chest.
Still time.
Got that off my chest.
Just breathe. It's okay.
Vent it a little bit.
We still got concerts. They're still celebrating. There's still time.
Oh, man. Okay. This is not related. Did you guys watch that concert with Post
Absolutely
Malone?
not.
Yeah.
Why would I
Absolutely not.
The announcement.
I didn't watch it live, but I fired it up like on YouTube for like 2 minutes. I'm like, no, this isn't it. This isn't it. I don't know what this is. Anyways, back to Pokemon Presents. We got some fire announcements from this, honestly. There wasn't anything announced as far as trading cards, but on the game front, they got it locked down this year. So first off, this is pretty big hitter. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes announced. Those games were originally for the DS from 2006, coming to the Nintendo Switch with updated graphics, and worlds and everything. Like it's not just a port. It's not going to look like a DS game on there. They're giving it 3D sprites, kind of a chibi look is what it seems like. And I'm all about it because I was telling Adrian.
I was going to say, I don't care what anybody says. I dig that style. I dig the style that they went with.
I'm here for it. And I was telling Adrian on Twitter, I think I commented on a post, this is the first Pokemon games that I didn't play because is the first one's on DS. The last, the first of the series that wasn't on Game Boy Advance. My parents turned to me and they're like, no, we're not buying you another console. You have a Game Boy. You're fine. You don't need another Game Boy. And I'm like, it's different. It's not another Game Boy.
You don't understand. It's 2 of them.
Yeah, it's 2 Game Boys on top of each other. They weren't buying it. So that ended my Pokemon career until a month ago. So I'm excited to finally play this game and in all its glory on the Nintendo Switch. Let's see here. This is the craziest announcement. We'll see how it turns out, I guess, but they finally did it. Open world Pokemon Legends Arceus announced for early 2022. Let's go. Open world Pokemon game. It takes place in like ancient kind of, or like I saw someone say feudal, not Japan because it doesn't take place in Japan, but the Sinnoh region. No. So the Sinnoh region from Diamond and Pearl, it's like an ancient kind of feudal era time period of that, which dude, like even like it opens up and it zooms on the Pokeball and it like just looks ancient and old. Like it doesn't look like your modern day Pokeballs. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be pretty sweet.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I stood up and my hand was like this. I was like, there's no way they're actually doing it.
They're doing it.
They're doing it.
Features a game world that's reminiscent of Breath of the Wild with Pokemon appearing all over. Players will be creating Sinnoh's first Pokedex and features Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott as starter Pokemon. Because like the way the story is people are now just starting to immigrate to this new land, settle it, and they're bringing Pokemon from other areas where they came from. So that's why it has like this. As far as I know, again, I've never played Diamond or Pearl, but all the starter Pokemon are from other areas. Rowlet, Cyndaquil, Oshawott. I don't think any of those are from Sinnoh, if I know correct. So I don't know. Looks awesome. We don't know much about it at this point, but get hype because we're getting open world Pokemon, and who knows? It may be trash, but at least they tried. At least they finally tried.
Yeah, at least they finally did it.
Oh man. And then the last announcement was new Pokemon Snap gets a new gameplay trailer. So that's all. It's just a gameplay trailer for Pokemon Snap. And I was telling Adrian before the show, I was like, is it wrong that I'm not super stoked about this game? I don't know. Are you excited about this, Adrian? Because I am not necessarily feeling it after seeing gameplay.
I am. I think it looks really good, especially for being on Switch hardware. I think it looks phenomenal. I think it's what Sword and Shield should have looked like the entire time. But I get it because you have to render a whole open world versus on rails kind of track as you're going through the level. So I understand that. I think I told you when you asked, I said, I think if you weren't there originally, I could see how this wouldn't be too much of a draw. But I think if you were there for Pokemon Snap, the first one, this is right up your alley. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah. That's it for the Pokemon Presents. And now it's time for the Super Indie Boys. Adrian, are you ready to do this live?
Let's go. I got some picks for you.
Let's go.
All right. So first up, I believe is probably one of the best soundtracks I think I've heard in recent memory for a game, and it belongs to none other than Donut County. So in Donut County, you play as, and I swear I'm being serious, you play as a hole, like in the ground, and it gets larger and larger with the more things that fall in. Almost like to the point where you can swallow up houses and boulders and stuff like that. And that is the gameplay loop, is you're trying in every set piece to get everything into the hole. And there's a story wrapped around it I don't want to say too much about because I want people to play it because it's actually really charming and endearing. But the art style is really good. The dialogue is really good. Ben Esposito, who's the developer, rules. And the soundtrack is amazing. I have it saved to my phone because that's how good it is. And I think it's pretty much everywhere. It's even on iOS. It's on major console stores. Mm-hmm. So that one is
it's on Game Pass.
Definitely a pickup. Yeah, and it's normally it's not too expensive either. I think it's maybe like $15 on consoles and $7 on iOS. So take a chance on it. And then the next one I have is Battle Chef Brigade. So Battle Chef Brigade is part action platformer, part puzzle game, part cooking simulator. So, and trust me,
perfect recipe.
This is awesome. Yeah. So you have to, you play as a cook who is in a competition with other chefs from around the world. And you're trying to win the grand prize, which is, to become top chef. You get the sponsorship, you get all this, all these perks and prizes and whatnot. But here's how you make the dish. You have to go out into the fields and you have to hunt the ingredients. You have to hunt the monsters and kill them to take their ingredients back to the kitchen, right? And then you take the ingredients and you add them to the dishes. So you have to make sure you have the right kinds of ingredients. But the way you cook them is you have to do a match 3 puzzle game to get the ingredients to cook in the right way. And you're doing all of this under a strict time limit, and you have to get it all done. So you have to manage your stuff that's cooking in the kitchen while going back out to get more ingredients if you need it and go back in and out. It's so awesome, and it's really addicting. I think I didn't play anything but that game for weeks to get it down. I was a pro by the end of it. I think that one is on major console stores too, and it's on Steam. And then my last one we were talking about before the what was that with Sifu, where we were like you go and then you die and then you go again and you die. Mm-hmm. My last one is Bloodroots. You play as like a rampaging I don't want to say like Viking, but like your objective is to kill everybody. Just go through and kill everybody as quickly and as innovatively and effectively as you can. And you get killed over and over. And every time you come back, you have to learn from your last mistake. And you got to be able to chop people down, arrows. You can run over them with barrels, bombs, make stuff explode. It's a really, really good art style, really tight, succinct gameplay. I think it's pretty much, it's everywhere too. Major console stores and Steam.
Yeah.
I wish I had some gameplay playing somewhere, but trust me, all 3 of these are gems and they're all worth your time. So don't miss out. So and that is your Super Indie Boys live for this week.
Bloodroots is a bop.
Freaking go. Bloodroots is amazing. That's one I reached out to Pop Agenda and got a code for when it first came out. And dude, like when I fired that up, I was like, this game is so good. Like,
yes,
this is so much fun. And definitely check that one out. I got it on Switch, and it feels like the perfect game for the Switch. Like just run like perfect handheld game. Check out Bloodroots. I like that one. But now it is time for our Patreon ad. Alrighty, guys. So if you haven't already, please go check us out at patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can go over there, support us for just $1 a month. You get episodes early and ad-free, just like this episode now that you may be listening to live. If you weren't able to make it, well, if you support us over there, you'd get it tonight anyways. Later tonight, I do put out the edit. You get the audio version there, while everyone else will get it Wednesday. Also, you won't hear this part. The ads are gone, and the bumpers at the front and back that you usually hear. We have some other perks. You get the show notes early if you support us at the $5 level. $10 level, you get shout outs on the show. $15 level, that's our producer tier. Just like our own Patreon producer, Adrian Holmes here. You get to help pitch segments, do your own segment, be on the show. We try to include you as much as possible. And back in the day, what was it? We had Matt Liu. We used to do losing reviews. His last name was Liu. And he made us watch terrible movies, and we did movie reviews about like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Sometimes he gave us an all right one, but usually not. So yeah, that's our Patreon tiers there. Go over there, patreon.com/supergamerboys, and support us there. Also, kind of a newer way you can support us. Subscribe to us on Twitch. We stream this every time we do these episodes. We try to do them live now, and also throughout the week. I stream games. I try to do at least once or twice a week. Twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. Leave a sub there. Subs start out at $5 a month, but if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, and if you have Twitch Prime, that means you have a free sub every month. So go ahead and throw that at us. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps support us. You get, right now, we don't have very many subs, but so we just have one emote slot, and it's basically my face. So you get a sweet emote of my face until we unlock more slots, and then we can, have JJ's face and Zetch's face, and hopefully more like fun ones after that. But at this point, go ahead and throw that free sub at us. We would very much appreciate that. And now, let's get back to the show. Alrighty, guys. So pre-show, we had talked about doing a topic of the show. We've been going long. We've been going an hour and 45 here. So maybe let's stick to what you're playing. But I do want to talk about, I see you guys didn't add anything to the list. I have Outriders demo. I know Nate definitely played that one. Nate,
we played together.
We played because we played together. You haven't talked a little bit. How about you tell us a little bit about Outriders?
Yeah, so Outriders, don't ask me about who the developers are, or all People Who Can Fly. That's who it is. And then who else? It's People Who Can Fly, and what's the other big studio behind it?
Square Enix?
Square Enix. There we go. It's essentially a live service. I know that's a trigger word for some people. Third person looter shooter, kind of set in an Earth-like place, but it's really a new world. And so the premise is you're a colony called Outriders trying to inhabit a new world after Earth's demise. If it doesn't sound very original, it's not. The whole entire premise is not original. The story is subpar. The voice acting is subpar. But I wanted to get the bad stuff out of the way first, because the gameplay loop of the fighting mixed with the powers, especially with the cooldown time of the powers that you have, it feels so satisfying. Almost like a perfect mix between, we were saying, Gears of War and Destiny, in that it has that core gameplay loop of Destiny of like fight, kill, loot, repeat. But where it differentiates from Destiny is it replaces, maybe really crazy, amazing guns that you've worked really hard to get with this like constant barrage of powers. So we've got me, who is playing the pyromancer. We got Garrett, who's playing like this like time lord, it felt like.
That's a trickster.
Yeah, the trickster, essentially like freezing time. And then we had another buddy who's basically just freezing everybody, like actually using ice powers of sorts. Mm-hmm. So it felt like all of our powers mixed perfectly together, which I feel like Destiny has always kind of lacked. Is it never felt like, all right, let's pool all our powers together and you can have this happen to this guy and my thing will do this to this guy. It felt like with this game, the powers happen so often that either A, there's constantly stuff going on, or B, like they're working together, and so the gameplay loop in core felt really good. It felt like it had the perfect amount of enemies per encounter, that the loot dropped perfectly. My biggest gripe, aside from the non-original story and the voice acting, is as we were playing it, nothing really stood out to me from a art standpoint. And I think that might be the death of this game, because I think it has everything it needs to do really well, to be the next Division, possibly, maybe that size of a game. But what the Division has that this doesn't is almost like a gripping premise. And this one feels like even its art style wasn't built to draw people. And it almost feels like Square Enix was like, let's commission this team to create a live service game with the safest things we could possibly do. So, I am worried that it won't hit. So when we were talking about, will you get it? Like normally 100% I'd get it. But if there's no guarantee that everybody's going to play it for a long time, there's no way I'm getting it. It's a waste of $60. But yeah, I'm tiptoeing around the game because I don't want people to get suckered into a $60 price tag, because I tend to overhype things. I think it's a great time. I think 100% you should check out the demo. If it's not for you, that's totally makes sense. But I think that this core gameplay loop will draw a lot of people in.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed our play as well. Like it's and going back to the abilities, I think that's what stood out most to me. I feel like yes, you use your gun to deal a lot of damage, but your guns don't deal a lot of damage without the use of like these abilities. So like I would run in there as Trickster. I had this ability where basically there'd be this huge just like poof, explosion, like everything would just like turn blue in like a radius around me, and it froze time. And what the coolest thing, like you're in this bubble and bullets are like slowly just flying at you, so you can like dodge out of the way of them, like totally Matrix. All the enemies slow down, whether they're in the bubble or not. Basically, as long as you're in the bubble, everyone else slows down.
And it's pretty cool for a live service game for like time to slow down. It feels weird. It's cool.
It's so cool. And then, so like I would freeze time, which allowed like Boba to get a good like bead on someone and like blast him with this firewall. And then, our other buddy with the Technomancer, he had something where it's like literal ice. He would like just freeze people in place. So like then we could just pelt him with our gun. So he's like frozen in time. So we can get the I don't know, everything was just working so perfectly. The abilities refresh so quickly, like you were saying. Like it's never like, oh, it's on cooldown for a minute. Like no, it was like 15 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. At least for for most of mine anyways, it was like pretty quick. I could teleport around, like I could just aim at an enemy, teleport behind them, hit him with I had this sword that did a ton of damage, and then just like hightail it out of there. The gameplay of this game is really almost perfect in some senses. Like it's just at least fun. It's really quite a lot of fun. But yeah, I agree with you with the gripes where like the story is not original. And okay, what's really gonna make this game unique and stand out at this point? Because it does just kind of feel bland and samey. So like a gameplay can go a long way, but I don't know if it could completely carry this.
I think about Anthem a lot when I played it, because when I played Anthem, I thought that game was going to have legs. I thought with support, Anthem would be fine because the gameplay felt so good. The flying and the combat. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. So I am worried for this game, but I think what it has that Anthem doesn't is a sense of direction. And I feel like the devs are confident seeing, like when you play the demo, they give you about 2 hours of playtime, but you can see how the skill trees go and you can see how you can progress over time.
So many upgrades.
It's bonkers, and you get more powers and just it's pretty crazy. So even if it doesn't hit and it becomes a deep discount play, I'll probably get it just to play through all of that progression and stuff with friends.
Definitely with friends. That's the key.
Yeah. I wouldn't play it by myself.
Yeah, this demo made it very obvious. Like, oh, this would not be super exciting to play alone. Like, you have to do it with friends. Yeah, it was a fun one. It's a good game. The only weird thing too, I forgot we didn't mention. There's 4 classes, but you only play with 3 people in the squad. That seemed kind of weird. Yeah. Hopefully, that's something they change or update. Who knows? But because there's 4 classes.
If it's balanced for 3, keep it at 3.
The thing is, the devs said that they made it for 4 and it felt too chaotic. And I can see that because with 3, there were times where it was so chaotic that like our computers were all slowing down. None of us have bad computers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like trying to render so much on the screen at once. It felt like whoa, So with 4, I can see why it'd be more chaotic, but at the same time, I agree. Maybe, and I hate to say this, maybe add more of a cooldown to all the powers if you're adding a 4th. But I don't know. I would agree the 4th person would make it feel like, oh, there's a point to all having our different things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Adrian, have you been playing anything that you want to share with us?
I mean, nothing like outstanding. Like these past couple of weeks have been pretty rough, so I've kind of retreated to some old comfort food. So I pulled out my old my PS2, and I've been playing some Dragon Quest VIII.
Nice.
So it's it was the best Dragon Quest until 11 came along. So I don't know. It's just nice to I don't know, have something to focus on, or just sit there and just veg out and grind for a little bit.
Right. So something familiar, something fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cool, dude. Well, thank you guys so much again for joining me this week. I know it was kind of last minute and we went long today, but we had some fun along the way talking about some cool stuff coming this year, big 2021 announcements, or at least a lot of small ones.
Some tears, some crashes.
Some crashes, a whole lot of stuff.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
Some Crash 4s. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, whether you're live or on Twitch, live on Twitch or on YouTube. By the way, we hit 100 subscribers last 2 weeks ago on YouTube, so we now have a vanity URL. So youtube.com/supergamerboys. It's official. We made it to the big league, so yeah, there we go. We're good.
Momentum, baby. Let's keep it up.
And if you get us to 150, we'll watch another bad movie with that old Patreon producer.
We'll bring Matt Liu back from the dead and do a losing review. You can support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys if you want to make us watch bad movies or play bad games. sgbstore.com if you want to buy some sweet merch. We got t-shirts, stickers, mugs, all sorts of fun stuff over there. Even a blanket with our faces on it. Well, my face, JJ's and Zetch's face. And remember, you can rate and review us over on your favorite podcast apps, on YouTube. Make sure to smash that like button and click that subscribe so you know when the new videos go live. I love how just like, that's so cliche that is, but I love to say it. It feels so good to just smash that like button. You can
crash that like button.
Crash it. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am over on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Where are you at, Adrian, on your social media?
I am everywhere at Homeboy. That's HOLMBOI.
Nice. And Nate, do you have any social media you'd like to pimp?
Yep. You can always find me at Boba Fletch.
Boba Fletch at all the places there. So awesome. Well, thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. You can check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. And yeah, that's it. So on behalf of Nate and Adrian, myself, we thank you all very much for joining this week. And yeah, we will catch you all on the flippity flop. See ya.